What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the From the 50 NFL podcast. My name's TJ Weber. That's Zach Zook all the way from St. Louis, Missouri. That's Nick Yale from Dallas, Texas. And we got the great Nick Tolley back on the show. Ace is off. We kicked his ass off the show.
Goodness.
Nick Tolley officially back on the program. Welcome back, Tolley. How does it feel to be back? What happened to you? Can you give the people some, a little background on what happened?
We just had to take a little hiatus, but we're back. We're fine.
Okay. Well, we didn't get your take on Buffalo. We gave Ace, who happened to be a Buffalo fan too. Pretty wild stuff. We got his take on what happened last year. Real quick, your take on losing once again to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I just wish Patrick Mahomes would disappear. Send him to space.
Send him
Katy
to
Perry.
space.
With Katy Perry.
Yeah, that's fine. But
Is she going
longer
to
than
space?
11 minutes.
I don't think I understand the reference. Am I that old now? What happened with Katy Perry?
Yeah, dude.
Katy
Yeah,
Perry
you
went
gotta
to space last week with Jeff Bezos' wife.
Yeah, man. You need to put the bluey down and come back.
Yeah, come on.
No,
I know
it's
you got
Miss
the kids,
it's
but
Miss
geez.
Rachel. Like if I gotta hear hop little bunnies hop 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 one more fucking time. And you know who I blame for this whole Miss Rachel shit? Zach Zook is who I blame.
Yeah,
because
it is my fault.
We were talking. It was actually during an NFL or one of the From the 50 shows on Sunday, and he goes, "Have you guys had to watch that Miss Rachel yet?" I go, "No, what the hell is that?" He goes, "Oh, just wait." I go, "What? How cryptic was that?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And all of a sudden, my wife the next week goes, "Oh my God, you know who we gotta let our daughter watch now? Miss Rachel." I go, "Motherfucker, Zook." I'm like, he put it out there in the universe and just absolutely screwed me. And I'm like, yeah. So now I get Miss Rachel literally every day of my life. So thank you so much.
I don't even
for
have
that.
kids, and I know who Miss Rachel is.
I know.
I know Miss Rachel is as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Making bank, by the way. Holy shit. I'm sure she's
Bank,
making
dude.
millions doing hop little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Make fun of people all you want. They're all making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Gotta love
She's
Miss
like the
Rachel.
Joel Osteen of children's television.
Yeah, that's right. It really is. So there we go. Miss Rachel talk check on the first show from the 50 for the 2025-26 season.
Great open.
Great open. Pretty much we're right back in the season, right back in style. That's what we do. We have the NFL draft coming up this week for 2025. If you guys haven't checked out the show, you can check out the full podcast. Every single show since we started this damn thing back in 2018 with me and Zook and Big Web. Nick then joined later that season. Tolley joined. Was it season 4, Tolley? Season 3? What do you think?
Yeah, because it would have been, I think, during the 2020 season was when I joined. But, I mean, I listened a lot. Was involved
That
a little
sounds right,
bit
dude.
at the start.
because You didn't do the Cafe Telegraph season, right? And Cafe Tea was
Cafe
right before
Tea was
COVID.
a fun season.
That was
Yeah.
2019.
Very fun season. Cafe Tea
Yeah,
was
I would-
season number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I would come watch you guys there and stuff.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, it was a good time. And then Tolley joined, I think, the year after. We've been doing this show now. This will be year number 8 for the show. 8. Unbelievable.
That's
and
crazy.
I'm
That's
really
insane.
excited, too. Actually, I forgot to put the camera over on the actual board. Let's just take a little look over the board here, though, just so we can take a look. It's been a while. Jesus Christ. I don't know how to control this thing. I need, a joystick. I got, some stupid,
do.
remote, but... here's the famous sign that we have, signed by everybody who sucks at picking football games. You get last place in the pick'em every single season. I've signed it once. Tolley has signed it once. Big Web is about to sign it for the first time in his career. Zook, the only one left without signing it, but the most important part of this story, Nick Yale has signed it
Shout out.
twice. Nick, would you like
Man,
to make a statement?
That original signature is fading quite a bit on there. That's kind of funny. The lighting's really gotten to it on
Well, you
that
put it in
one, but-
green, I think. I mean, you can really
Yeah.
adjust.
Well, it's gold now.
Yeah, it's gold now. We
I
got
like how you put them
Mizzou
next to
colors
each
right
other, though.
there. Black and gold. I'm not
Beautiful.
signing this again, I say, in 2024. That's exactly right. I had a decent season last year, and I finished third.
I don't know.
Third.
You
middle
can't
of the
say you
pack,
had a
something.
decent season and then not know what you did. That's kind of,
I was doing all right. We were trending upwards, which is good. We're about to move into a new office down here in Dallas, so it's only going to be up from here, boys. I'm locked in this year.
Are
you
really?
did finish third, Nick.
Nice. See, that's
Look at
fine.
that.
Right,
Look
right
at
where I need
you.
to be.
72, 72, and 2. Just completely
right
average.
Exactly
Basically.
500. That's not losing any money. So I'll take it.
Zook, I have to say, when do you think that your run of non-losing seasons will end? Because you did get second last this time. I believe your worst finish ever in the Pick'em. So are we trending to signing next year or this year?
We're hoping that that's not a sign of things to come.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really tough stretch.
Not a sign.
I think out of the gate last year. I think I had a couple like 1-6, 0-7. Like we just gotta avoid those weeks, Like,
right.
Those are the real killers. I think there was one I remember like doing my picks. I was out of town and was not gonna be on the show, but was like we were out of town, and I remember we were like partying the night before. We were doing something, and I remember like my head was just pounding, and I picked the games like at like 8:30 and sent them over.
Yeah,
I think I went 0-7.
I think everybody on this program has done that. Has gotten shit faced the night before a show, and then has shown up and just like I don't give a fuck. Like hopefully I don't go 0-7.
And I was out of town. Like the show was just out of sight, out of mind. Like it might have even been the Green Bay weekend that I was gone. Like because I went to go see him for Thanksgiving. Play the Dolphins, which they shithoused them. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like half conscious doing the picks, feeling awful, and then like as the games are unfolding, I'm like, well, that went about as well as could have expected.
I mean, we've basically been doing this show the entirety of our 20s, now into our 30s, so that's definitely gonna happen once or twice because this group likes to party. So I've been there probably four or five times of just being absolutely fucked, hungover, trying to make my picks, just bing, 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 send.
I will say I think I have the best one. The one time where I didn't make the show and a picture got sent in to me with, I think I had a sweatpants on, I had a T-shirt, and I had my blue blazer from the wedding the night before, and a piece of lettuce from the Jack in the Box tacos just hanging on my jacket. So I think I win that one. But yeah,
I think I've sent in pics fucked up after both of your guys' weddings. So
yeah. I think that's pretty on point. And then Big Web's 100% been hungover. I think everybody's been fucked up on this show before.
You always know when Big Web is wearing sunglasses. He's going to be at the Cornfield Casino no matter what. But when he's wearing the sunglasses, it was a little rough night. But have no fear, he's going to get those bets in.
He came stumbling into Cafe T one time. I think it was like week 9. And he comes in there with sunglasses on, and I sit down. He sits down, and he's like 20 minutes late, which is pretty normal anyway sometimes. And I go, Big Web, how you feeling? He goes, fuck. That's all he says. Fuck. I'm like, okay.
Got the McDonald's coffee, and just sunglasses are staying on for the whole show.
Yeah. It's just legendary
status. One time we had machine gun shots as like a punishment on the show when we were doing the punishments. I remember one time having to do 3 or 4 like wild turkey like shots, and you had to like do them like right in a row. And
did we really? I don't. We actually did. I don't remember doing that.
I remember doing it because it was like totally like I'm not a big breakfast guy. Like didn't have any breakfast, didn't have any water in the system. And I remember like doing that, and like 10 minutes later, like it passed fast, but for about 10 minutes, I was like, I can't like really form a sentence.
The one year that we did punishments, where we had the jelly beans, TJ had to do the little workout challenge during the show.
It was the easiest shit of all time. Like I wish the punishments would have been a great part of the show, but I'm like, these aren't good enough. We don't have time. So like Big Web, all we did was eat those stupid Bean Boozled jelly beans. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, it was the ones that Jelly Belly came out with, like where they have the puke and booger and all these disgusting. By the way, liver and onions. Ask Tolly. We used to do horse races on Weber Bets. I do liver and onions and literally throw up. It was like I was like, I would just like dry heave the whole time.
Aftertaste.
Because the worst part, they marinated in that Tupperware container for like a month, so they got way worse.
I'm pretty sure I tossed that one. I'm like, I'm not letting my wife use that one for like any ranch or any sides that we're gonna put in there. That's bad news bears on that one, but. Yeah, Big Web then took a whole handful of all. He goes, I'm tired of these fucking jelly beans. And he slams them in his mouth, and the look on his face, he goes, let's quit fucking around these jelly beans.
Yeah, that was an iconic moment.
He also got shirtless as a punishment. So, I mean, the guy was,
by the way, with Zook.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only time he's been in my house was to film that.
Can you imagine being Zook's wife walking in? I've said this a million times. It'll never not be funny. Zook's wife walks in and sees Big Web and him shirtless with a camera on. I don't know where you go from there.
Only time the guys come to his house.
Hey, Big Web, you go over and take some shirts off, big guy? Like, I mean, that's kind of what happened.
There have been times where like I'll be talking about something like with the house, like when we're like just like watching football or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta like do this. And I'm like describing it to him, like, well, you've been out there, and like we both are just like, yeah, like the one time to film shirtless content for
Nice
from the 50.
It's like it's for the football show. Oh, okay. Typical football show. Makes sense.
That makes it any better.
Yeah, pretty normal. Speaking of normal, we have NFL draft coming up here on Thursday. This show comes out Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. So I guess we'll talk a little football, boys. Why not? I don't even know where to start. Big storylines. I think the biggest one that I'm following is Shedeur Sanders. Is he going to drop? Is he a top 5 pick? I'm going to go because I think Zook knows obviously more football than any of us mostly. I think he's done a little bit more research, so no shot at Nick and Tolly. Okay, shot at Nick, but I want to see what you guys want to say first, and I'll give my take, and then I want to hear what Zook actually knows about it. So, Tolly, what do you think about Shedeur Sanders?
I don't think he's going to be that good.
Well, what do you think he's going to go in the draft, though? That's a take for the summer.
I don't know where he's going to go, and I don't care. He's like another Johnny Manziel to me. Like, it really doesn't matter where he's going to go. He's probably going to go to some shit franchise, though, and it's going to just make it even worse.
Yeah.
Like if he goes to, like, the Raiders or something, like, he's not going to be good.
See, the thing is, I think the Johnny Manziel comparison isn't fair. I think the dude can play. Now, does his last name help him? No doubt about it. I've seen that being talked about like crazy. Like if his name was Shedeur Smith, not Shedeur Sanders, he's not even in the conversation for a first-round pick. I don't know if I totally agree with that. I mean, I got takes on it, I guess. Nick, what do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, Browns at 2, Giants at 3. They're both looking to trade back. So I don't know that either of them really like Shedeur Sanders, but if I had to pick one of those two teams, I think he's probably going to go to the Giants.
I don't think they'll take a quarterback. They have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston now. Like they're not going to take
a quarterback. I mean, look, come on. What would we just say? Quarterback. You got those two. Take a quarterback.
But you're paying one high-end backup money and one starter money. You're not going to take a first-round pick to go sit there and then have those two on the bench.
That's where I think more than likely there's a trade out to somebody trading up to get him. No Steelers quarterback been signed. I think everyone knows it's pretty much going to be Aaron Rodgers at this point. I could see the Raiders being a landing spot again where they have Geno Smith right now and they just assigned him to a 3 or 4 year deal. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're going to go quarterback there. So my guess is you're going to get a mystery team coming in, trading up for Shedeur Sanders, maybe at 2 or 3 at one of those spots where the Giants and the Browns are. I could see the Browns taking them though too, but I think they have probably bigger needs that they need to address than quarterback.
My hard part with him, like TJ, you mentioned his last name, is just if I'm an NFL GM, I don't think I'd necessarily want that guy and his attitude in my locker room right now.
Yeah, that's the less what I would say too. I think it's not only is he not that good of a quarterback. I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot of him. I mean, he had a pretty mediocre career at Colorado, and now it's like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ, and they're retiring his number. And if he had a different last name, that probably wouldn't be the case, and we'd be looking at him more like a Jalen Milroe type instead of a top pick in the draft like Cam Ward will be.
Yeah, I go back and forth because, like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of hype with him, no doubt. I am shocked by the odds on this. The Steelers are the not heavy favored, but pretty favored on Blue Book to get him at plus 240. Giants plus 330, Cleveland plus 380, Saints plus 410, and then a huge jump to the Rams and Raiders at 1,400. Where are the Steelers picking, Zook, exactly? Do you know?
They're picking 21.
So they think he's going to drop that much, or they think they're that likely to trade up? Like,
no. The consensus right now is that he's not going to get picked in the top 10. There have been kind of like rumors like throughout the last like month or two that the Giants would take him. And then there were kind of rumors that maybe the Raiders would be interested at 6. Remember, he kind of has like an existing relationship with Tom Brady, who's involved kind of in their personnel decisions now. But I think the prevailing take and I think what a lot of people are hearing from the pro personnel departments around the league are that he's not like a first round talent per se.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think, like, my personal opinion, I think like Tolly's a little too hard on him. Like, I think he did accomplish a lot. Like, nine wins at Colorado is impressive, especially considering it took them 3 seasons combined to get to 9 wins. The previous 3 seasons from 2024, you have to go all the way back to 2016 to a season where they have won 10 games. And besides that outlier season, you have to go all the way back to 2001. So
Jeez.
Not many people have won there. It's been a bad program. And the fact that they turned it around and like won like they did, I think he has like a lot of redeeming qualities. It's just very interesting that like the son of quite possibly one of the best athletes we've ever seen in like the course of human history, like his draft profile and like what people like write up about him, it's like nothing to do with athleticism.
Yeah.
He's like an instinctual player.
Right.
And like, I think he has like a lot of kind of intangible stuff going for him, but yeah, not a strong arm, not going to run away from guys. Like, I think he has he's good enough at all those things though. But like, and when you look at the offensive line he had to work with, and I thought their offense, like formationally and like how they played offense was so stupid. Like very tough to get a read on him from like the passing concepts. Like they would run like Y cross like 7 times a game. So like he's like a tough eval from that perspective. But I do think he's a little bit better than he's given credit for. That said, I think he's like realistically kind of like a second round like QB. But he's going to go in the first because of the quarterback inflation. I think the question is where. I think the most likely thing to happen is that one of these teams like New York or Cleveland, maybe it's the Raiders, maybe it's the Steelers,
The who?
kind of trades back into the first round.
Who's the team from Vegas? Who's that? Who'd you say?
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Thank you. God,
Trade
I
back
heard.
into the first round to go grab him. I think an interesting spot that I haven't seen talked about enough that I actually think is maybe my favorite fit for him is the Los Angeles Rams.
Seen that one,
pick kind of late in the first round. I really like kind of the dome for him, and I think that like for a quarterback that's not the biggest, doesn't have like a huge arm, I think that's an ideal spot for him. Like I don't love like New York, Cleveland, or Pittsburgh, to be quite honest, like in terms of like fit and where they play and the division they play in.
Can you imagine, like, also with Tolly talking about the locker room stuff, with some of those personalities in that locker room, if you have Shedeur, George Pickens, and DK all in the same locker room, I mean,
somebody's going to die. They're going to get in a fight, and somebody's going to be seriously hurt.
Like it's
going
to be.
But if there's any coach to help them figure out that, he is Mike Tomlin. Who
he had what? He had Lev Bell and Antonio Brown at the same time.
So
they
were
having
Ben Roethlisberger
and Big Ben.
Does not have a clean resume.
He knows how to manage knuckleheads in the locker room.
That's true. Yeah,
I think the other hard part with Shedeur is just like the speed of the NFL game is so next level that I think a lot of people don't realize how big of a jump it is from college to the NFL. That he has to handle that and just the mental aspect of trying to read defenses and everything. Like the game is going to be so fast to him. I don't know if he can. Like he should not play year one.
I think
he needs a year to adjust to that.
What about that cornerback? I forgot who it was. I know one of you knows what I'm talking about. Where he said you better stop patting the ball before you throw it, man, because we know exactly when to jump. And I noticed every single drill he did at Pro Day, every single highlight I saw from Colorado, he did. He looked, pat, throw. Now, is it that big of a deal? Does he do it too fast enough where it doesn't matter? I don't know. I mean, like, you got NFL speed, and he's patting the damn ball to throw, and he's looking right. You know it's going to that receiver. Like, do you guys think there's something to that? I thought that was kind of interesting. So,
well, I forget who it was that did say that pat the ball because we're gonna pick it off. It was an NFL DB, but whoever it was, he had like 1 interception on the year. So it wasn't he didn't really have the stats to back it up, his shit talking of Shedeur.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who it was. I did see that clip though.
I thought that was just, I don't know if it was really anything to it, but I thought once I saw it, like the glass broke. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize he did that every single throw. But anyway, Shedeur right now, one of the biggest kind of wild numbers I see on Blue Book is for him to free fall to be drafted 15th overall or later, minus 310, Nick, for that. Minus 310 for him to go 15th or higher. So they really don't expect him to go top 10 anymore. I mean, I've seen mock drafts on PFF.
Yeah,
I've
like
seen
I
them
said,
everywhere of him top 5, so it must be changing quick.
Well, and I think that's the landing spots right now. I think you're seeing more in the betting markets being revealed about maybe what these teams do. I don't think anybody really knows till draft day. There's always a little bit of a surprise when it comes to the gambling aspect of it, because now Ashton Jeanty's line is moving to be favored to be taken in the top 5. So I think that's, like I was saying earlier, I think they're expecting the Giants and the Browns, one of those two teams, to trade back and out of 2 or 3, and maybe a team comes up for another quarterback, or maybe they reach that high for Jeanty. That's the big question mark on where he's going to land. And then you got these offensive linemen too and the defensive lineman, Mason Graham. There's a lot of guys in that top 5 that I think some teams might reach for. Speaking
of Jeanty, where realistically you think, let's say nobody trades up for him. Let's just say it's the normal order. You got Titans, Browns, Giants, you don't expect to take. Patriots, probably not. Jacksonville, I don't see it. Raiders, maybe. Honestly, the first big one I see, I don't see him falling this far, so maybe there will be a trade up, but let's say there's not. The Bears at 10. I saw McShay talking about that. Honestly, I would hate it, but I think that'd be a great fit for them. And obviously Dallas is the one that was talked about really early at 12. But at this point, like you said, Nick, I don't see him going past 7.
Well, there's juiced value for him to go at 5 at minus 110 right now, which is the Jaguars spot. More than likely, if that's the case, that means they're trading back for and just picking up picks, because I think at 5 the Jaguars, everyone's thinking Mason Graham, but now today there's been more rumors swirling heavy that Ted McMillan is who they want, and but might be trading down to still get him.
I think your interesting thing to look at, if you are looking at the Patriots and him going top 5, is Vrabel had Derrick Henry and had a lot of success with him. Mm-hmm. Does he see him as the same person? You have Pete Carroll in Vegas who had Marshawn Lynch. I think those are kind of your comps for him, and those coaches could say, yeah, I need this guy.
Yeah. Zook, have you heard have you seen anything in particular about Jeanty that kind of stuck out to you?
I kind of don't think he makes it past 6. I think when you hear about the Jaguars front office talk about this draft and their pick and how they want to make a statement, and it's the first pick of a new regime. I initially thought Mason Graham made a lot of sense. They need just solid players. Their roster really needs to be churned and rebuilt. And the more I think about it, the more I think it makes a lot of sense. And I feel like they might draft Ashton Jeanty. It's a draft that lacks star-studded talent outside of a few players. He is one of them. I feel like Jags fans, and Nick will remember when they took Leonard Fournette 5th overall, and that didn't totally work out. But I also still feel like he was kind of a stud on that team that went to the AFC Championship game.
It worked out for a short period of time. If they were where they are now, it probably would have been better. And hey, he's later in his career. He's still a free agent out there. Maybe they want to bring him back.
And I think Ashton Jeanty is a better prospect than Leonard Fournette was coming out. I mean, Jeanty's insane with what he can do.
Where was he before this year, though? Maybe I was just living under a rock. I never heard of the guy before this past year. Why did he come out of nowhere?
He was good. I mean, I knew who he was. I knew he was going to get drafted. But, I think it was like a Joe Burrow situation. I thought he was just, in the mix. Joe Burrow, I remember, was a 5th, 6th round. You're day 3, somebody will take him to be a backup or a third stringer, and who knows, maybe somebody gets hurt, he gets a shot. to like, yeah, no, this guy's going like number 1 overall.
Yeah.
After one of the most insane seasons we've ever seen. I remember like a lot of people that like do this for a living. And like, I remember listening to a lot of things of scouts and people that do the grades. Like, did I like, what did we miss with this guy? And they would talk to scouts, and the scouts were like, no, like he just got a lot better. he really
one of the
wasn't
greatest
good. And I
college
remember
football teams
watching
of
him
all
transfer.
time. That team, I mean, that receiving core with Chase and Jefferson was just nasty. Yeah, that was.
Do you remember the team though the year before? Like they were pretty disappointing. Like I don't know what the record was, but it was not all sunshines and rainbows before that year.
Who was their
What
quarterback?
helped
I'm going to say. Oh, go ahead, Tolly. Sorry.
What helped Jeanty come up with? I mean, the guy was in the Mountain West, so that's why nobody ever really watched him play. He played at 10 p.m. every night. But then once it was like, oh, this guy might set the rushing record, was kind of when people started paying attention to him in Boise State.
He got more than double the carries too, not more than, but almost double the carries year over year from 23 to 24, and double the touchdowns, 29 touchdowns the past year, 14 the year before that. So the volume definitely increased as he did get better too.
I mean, is there any real conversation with the fact that he didn't play like any competition though? Like that's the one thing is when he played in the playoff, wasn't he shut down? Like I think he got 100 yards because he got like 35 carries, I think. But that's the one thing for me was, yeah, the dude's a stud. He's an athletic machine, no doubt about it. But you get one shot against real teams in the playoff, and you average what? Like
I think
3
that's
yards a
more
carry?
of a testament to the ability he has to break tackles and get into open space. I think the line that he had at Boise State maybe struggled a little bit more against, those better defensive lines come playoff time. But if he gets behind a good offensive line in the NFL, I think he's got the intangibles there and the skill set to make it happen behind a good O-line. You can say that for any running back in the NFL, but I think that's the draw there. But for Jeanty, just his ability to break tackles more than anything else and then get out in space.
I think you saw that this year with Saquon going from the terrible New York Giants offensive line to the Eagles offensive line.
God, that GM, honestly. I mean, and
Joe
now you got Russell Wilson. If you're Dayball and Shane, you got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston trying to save your ass. What a fucking season! It's gonna
but you
be
got Malik
something.
Neighbors.
I think that's also part of the reason why they don't take like a Shedeur this year is like if they don't win this year, they are all gone. So like they have to take guys that are going to actually like play and make them better this year.
I just don't know. I thought that
this is their last chance.
I thought getting a rookie quarterback would kind of be their like opportunity to excite the fan base, maybe catch lightning in a bottle. Is it less likely that you're not going to go find Patrick Mahomes in this draft? I understand that, but like I feel like you get better job security than letting Russell Wilson barely squeak you into the wild card and getting bounced in the wild card round. I just don't see that helping them. Maybe not. I don't know. But, I mean, the way that Joe Shane handled this Saquon Barkley thing, look, running backs I understand he thought he was getting a lot of money for a running back, but then you see him literally go win Philadelphia Super Bowl. It's tough. Also, your biggest rival, just tough. All right, so I'll see you, Nick.
One last thing on Ashton Jeanty.
There he is.
He's back. Ashton Jeanty.
Sorry.
Oh, did I freeze up or something?
No, Nick just bailed, which I thought it was his internet, which is pretty normal. So go ahead, continue.
No, Zook and Tolly were there. Just you were gone.
Oh, apologize.
So I think that actually I don't worry about the competition level with Jeanty. They played Oregon. And he had 192 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. They played Washington State, which like Washington State and Oregon State, like old members of the Pac-12, not in a power conference this year, but they still have a lot of like those players. He ran for 259 on 26 carries against Washington State. UNLV, which was like a borderline playoff team, they played him twice. He went over 100 in each of those games. And Penn State, 30 carries for 104 yards, like not impressive, but that is still like one of the best defenses in college football this past year. And you could tell they just said, we're anybody else, but you're not beating us with him. And I do think he got to a point where he was a little beat up. It speaks to his durability that he was able to take all those carries and not get hurt. But like you could tell he had like an elbow thing, I think, that he was working through, and like a hip or knee thing. So Yeah, no, I have no worries about him. He's going to be an absolute baller.
Someone else who's supposed to be a baller, expected to be, former Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter. Really interested to see where he goes. The conversation going on about, is he a receiver? Is he a cornerback? Is he the first two-way, maybe, am I wrong? First two-way NFL player of all time? I'm sure someone's done it, like has played both positions in one game. But I think
not in like the modern NFL have you seen like somebody do both ways like consistently.
Right.
You know, like you'll have defensive guys get like
that's true
packages, but like you don't see guys out there for every snap both sides.
Right, which I guess he won't be doing that. They're saying that if he goes in as receiver, he'll play certain drives at cornerback possibly. But anyway, Travis Hunter, incredible athlete. Been talking about him getting drafted for 2-3 years. I mean, he's just an absolute stud. So what I want to do is talk about him, and then since I don't want to go too much longer, maybe we all just kind of run through our predictions for some of the top guys where we think will go wherever, whether it's first round, second round, whatever. So let's talk about Travis Hunter, though. I mean, where do you guys see him kind of fitting here? I mean, I think he could go as high as Cleveland at 2. I mean, I think there's been conversations linked to him saying that he's the best athlete in this draft, that they'll go take the best athlete, so I could see him going at 2. It seems more likely he ends up with the Patriots or Giants, though, at 3 or 4. I don't see him getting past 4, no way, but I think Titans take Cam Ward, no doubt. Browns, I guess, might get Abdul Carter, or they would take Travis Hunter, I'm guessing. And then right there, I mean, I think the Giants have to take Travis Hunter if he's there. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I would say the Patriots to me are the landing spot for Travis Hunter fit wise. I preface that by saying I think another team might trade up and try to take a quarterback, but if that doesn't happen, I feel like he's going to go to the Browns. But if the Browns trade out, then I think he falls to the Patriots.
Tolly?
I think the Browns are going to take him. I mean, they have so many needs that he does kind of fit a little bit. I know that he said that if he can't play both ways, he's not going to play football at all, which I think is crazy. I think they have to play him at corner, let him be a lockdown corner, give him some packages at wide receiver. I just don't think the guy's body I don't think anybody's body can live up to 17 NFL games and 120 snaps a game, on top of the mental aspect of trying to play both positions and stuff. Like, it's just, I don't think it's possible. But
who's throwing him the ball next year? Like Watson?
Kenny Pickett.
Is that who it is? God,
yeah, as of right now, it's Kenny Pickett.
Wow. That's something.
Again, I don't know if there's really a good enough quarterback to take that early to try to fix that. Like, this is a bad year for quarterbacks to need a quarterback.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Aaron Rodgers goes to Cleveland. There ain't no way he fucking does that. Not a shot. If he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, he ain't going to Cleveland. Look, what do you think about Travis Hunter?
I think Tully's right. I think the Browns are going to take him. It seems like that's trending to be the pick. I think the draft kind of starts at 3, but even kind of not really. I kind of think it starts at 4. Like, I think there's the 2 premier players. Like, Cam Ward's kind of in his own category as the quarterback. And then it's kind of between Hunter and Abdul Carter because of, one, the position they play and just how talented they are. And then you get into, like, kind of the next crop. It's like Ashton Jeanty. It's Will Graham. I think the 2 tight ends are really good. And there you can start throwing in maybe like a tackle or 2. But, yeah, I think he goes 2. Andrew Berry, I feel like, has been the GM of the Browns, maybe for those that don't know. But he's been pretty candid, like, when he's been asked about it and talking about how, like, he's this once-in-a-generation player, like, very complimentary of Travis Hunter. And so I'd be shocked if the Browns pass on him. Now, I do think Cleveland could be one of those teams that maybe trades back up to 20, like where Sean Payton is, to get in front of the Steelers to maybe get Shedeur if they like him. Or
that'd be insane.
Yeah, or like trade to the back of the end of the first round. I think Jalen Milroe is a guy that has a chance to hear his name called at the back end of the first. More likely a round 2 pick. But he's just such a lotto ticket, you know, like somebody's going to take a swing on him either in the second round or the end of the first round. And Jackson Dart's going to be in the mix too. So I could see Cleveland having their eyes on one of those couple guys to then trade back up for. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think if Cleveland didn't just pay Garrett $40 million a year, I think Abdul Carter's more of a conversation.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That makes a lot of sense. And I also think just because Cleveland's been linked to Travis Hunter, they have the opportunity to take him. Like, basically, he's there for them right now. I'd be shocked if they passed on him, especially, there was all this talk about Shedeur, and then obviously the farther or closer and closer we get to the draft, the more he's moving far back in the draft. So I don't think there's any way he goes 2. And I don't think there's any way they trade back. I think Travis Hunter probably is the call here. But I don't know how good Abdul Carter is going to be, but can you imagine having him and Myles Garrett on the defensive line? I mean, that'd be pretty sick. If
That
he's
would
going to
be
be
disgusting.
like, I mean, that'd be insane. All right, so quickly predictions. Give me some crazy predictions you got. I'm going to throw one out there. I think there's going to be 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round. 4. I think it's going to be Cam Ward at 1. Shedeur's going to drop. I think he will be first round, though. I think Jackson Dart is going to be first round. I could see, I'm trying to think, the Saints maybe going to get him. Could be interesting. He's at 9. I could see him also going as a second quarterback taken in front of Shedeur. And then the other one I think could be interesting. I don't know why I see this fit. Maybe it's too high. Maybe they can get him in early in the second. I'm just taking a shot here. But Jalen Milroe going to Pittsburgh at 21. I don't know what it is, but something's speaking to me there. Could be crazy, but that's my hot take. 4 quarterbacks in the first round. I think people are going to panic and try to go get these guys. Any hot takes, Tolly?
I don't really have any. I have kind of said, though, I would not be surprised if the Bills tried to take a quarterback somewhere 4th round or later, just to kind of put somebody else in that quarterback room that you can kind of do some stuff with, and not have to have a Mitch Trubisky or Kyle Allen, who have been god awful, and kind of go the Patriots route, what they did with Jacoby Brissett and with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Nick, hot takes? Yeah, you're muted, Nick. Damn it. No, I got nothing. Zook, go ahead. What do you got?
I got a couple for you. I'll drop a couple on you. There's a couple. Is he still muted?
He's still muted. Yeah. Guy's been running a gambling
hear
production company for years. He hosted a podcast with me for years. He's been on this show for 8 years. Can't figure out a fucking microphone.
Back.
There he is.
There
back.
we go.
All right,
There he
so
is.
you could finish though.
Back. More than 1.5 Missouri Tigers taken in the first round.
All right.
Well, that's not really going out on a limb.
Luther Burden. Who's the other one? I don't even know.
Armand Membu, the tackle.
Armand Membu.
Oh, okay. Tolly, do you know who Armand Membu is?
Yeah, he's probably gonna be like a top 10 pick, so you better get familiar.
Get familiar with him.
Yeah. There's a couple character guys in this draft that are like high. So like Mike Green and James Pierce out of Marshall and Tennessee, respectively, the edge guys. I think it's fascinating to see where they wind up. There's another guy that's kind of like got some attitude, like maturity, character stuff. That's Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. Like guys that would have been kind of top of their class that have slipped kind of for that reason. I think another huge wild card is Will Campbell with the 32.5-inch arms, like widely regarded as the best offensive tackle coming into the season. But now it's like, I think there could be like one of those guys just free falls. Like I think the character guys are more likely to be off the board. Like I still think Will Campbell's going to go super high because aside from that, he checks every box. But like there are going to be teams that are just really uncomfortable with like what they've got investigated on some of these picks. And on the contrary, remember Jalen Carter last year went 8 to the Eagles?
Yep.
Because of like character stuff. He was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, but people were very uncomfortable with some of the off the field stuff. And now, like, we're 1 year in, right? But like long ways to go, but he looked amazing. So I think it's interesting to see like, what the fallout.
Why am I thinking he was 2 years ago? Hasn't he been on the team was he really a rookie last year?
I think they took another Georgia defensive tackle, Jordan Williams, I want to say, 2 years ago. Huge dude. And he was also out of Georgia, and I think he was also a high pick.
I don't know why I think Jalen Carter's been in the league for like 2-3 years. That's crazy. Huh. Well, there you go. I had no idea. All 9th overall. It was 2023. So he has been for 2 years. I was confused.
Okay, so 2 years ago. My
2
bad.
years ago.
my
No,
bad.
you're good. I didn't mean to catch it like that. I had for my own psyche. I was like, I feel like that guy's been in the league for 2-3 years.
Yeah. Well, and they did take the other Georgia defensive tackle the year before. So I don't think he played much in 2023. Like the Eagles do a really nice job of like drafting and developing, kind of like the Ravens do on the defensive line, where they had, I think, Fletcher Cox still his rookie year that was around, and Brandon Graham, who was obviously still around this year but hurt. So
That's still the
yeah, they do a
dirtiest
nice job
name.
of bringing him up.
Dirtiest name in NFL history, Fletcher Cox. It's got to be. It's up there. I mean, I don't even know another one, but I think
Jim Bob Cooter was pretty bad.
that's a good one. Yeah, Jim Bob
is a good
Cooter.
one. That is a good
another
one.
dirty one. Some of the best names ever, though. DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Brickashaw Ferguson's the best.
I'm
in
gonna
my
steal
opinion.
some of these
I
from the
love that one.
league. Montario. No, what was his name? The guy from the Browns. Not Montario Travesty. What was his name? I'm losing.
Montario Hardesty.
Montario Hardesty. That's it. That's it.
Travis.
Also,
Travesty.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, the law firm. Remember him?
The law firm, yes. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Yeah, DeBrickashaw Ferguson's the best. That's the greatest one I've ever heard. That's awesome. All right, boys. Any other takes on the NFL draft before we wrap this one up? Anybody? No?
Go Jags, man. Hopefully you trade back.
There you go. All right.
If that doesn't sum up the like kind of this year's draft.
Yeah. Just trade
When
down.
have you ever heard that before?
Trade-
man,
trade
I hope
down.
we don't get these guys at the top.
I can't wait till we trade back. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Trade back 5 picks, pick up another second rounder, and let's go to work.
There you go. Jags are on the way, baby. Here they come. All right, that's going to do it for the first show for the 25-26 season from the 50, year number 8 coming in this year. Make sure you follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, weberbets.com, where you can find all of those links at the bottom of the page. Also on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. We go live every Sunday during the NFL season. We'll be doing some off-season content as well. So make sure you subscribe and follow us on social media. For Nick Tolley, for Nick Yale, for Zach Zook, for Big Web, I'm TJ Weber saying so long. We'll see you guys next time on From the 50.